Good day, class. Today's topic is agricultural ecology. Under this topic, I'm going to treat agricultural ecology, the division of agricultural ecology, then the definition of ecosystem and different classes of ecosystem. So I'm going to start with the definition of agricultural ecology. What is agricultural ecology? Agricultural ecology is the study of croplands and farm animals. The study of croplands and animals in relation to their environment. And agricultural ecology is divided into two parts, which include horticology and synecology. Horticology and synecology. What is horticology? Horticology is the study of a single living organism in relation to its environment. It is the study of a single living organism in relation to its environment. So, an example of horticology is when you have a cattle in its environment, when you study a cattle in its environment. So, it is referred to as horticology. Then, synecology is when you have group of organisms, interrelationship of group of organisms in their environment. An example of synecology is when you have different types of fishes, when you study different types of fishes in its environment. That is when you have different fishes in a pond, when you study it. So it is referred to as synecology. So I'm going to move to the definition of ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a community of croplands and farm animals. Is a community of croplands and farm animals, and it can be divided into two components, which includes biotic components and abiotic components. It includes biotic components and abiotic components. What is biotic? What are biotic components? Biotic components, it includes both living organisms. They include living organisms, while abiotic components refers to they are non-living organisms. So I'm going to give you an example of biotic components. Under biotic components, we have the autotrophism. What is autotrophism? They are producers. They are called what? They are producers. Example of autotrophism is when you have your green plants. Green plants, they are producers because they obtain their energy from sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. Then we have heterotrophism. Heterotrophism, they are mainly farm animals. They are heterotrophs. They are farm animals that depend directly or indirectly on plants. They depend directly or indirectly on plants. An example of heterotrophs, they are, like I said they are farm animals. An example of farm animals, they are cattle, sheep, goats. So these animals, they feed on plants, and these plants, they are under autotrophs. They are autotrophs because they produce their own food by themselves. But the heterotrophs, they depend directly or indirectly on plants because they feed on plants. So they depend on the autotrophs. Then under the ecosystem, I said we have the biotic component, which can be divided into autotrophism and heterotrophism. Then the second part is the abiotic component. Abiotic component, it includes the climatic factors, the edaphic factors. It includes the biotic factors, and they are the non-living components. It includes the climatic factors and the edaphic factors. And under the climatic factors, we have temperature, we have wind, we have humidity, and sunlight. Then the edaphic factors include soil and topography. So I talked about the definition of agricultural ecology, which I said is the study of croplands and farm animals, and it can be divided into two, which include horticology and synecology. Then the ecosystem is a community of croplands and farm animals, and it can be divided into two components, which include biotic component and the abiotic component. Under the biotic component, we have the autotroph and the heterotrophism. And under the abiotic component, we have the climatic factors, which include the sunlight, temperature, the humidity. Then, under abiotic components, we have the edaphic factors, which include soil and topography. Thank you for listening.